1 minute more.
Welcome back to the Highfields Sports Campus here at the University of Nottingham. A big game coming up. It's the Women's Open. England in the white, Wales in the red. And on my right, Mel Day returns.
Very excited for this game, Jono. I think it's going to be a class game between two unbeaten teams and very old rivals. They've met each other in a lot of gold medal matches over various Euros, so definitely if you're joining us, you've come at the right time.
Of course, this was the 2018 final, a narrow 3-2 victory for England in the Women's Open to take the European Championships. And we'll see what happens here in 2022 as Wales have the tap off, and they made quite a strong start.
Great running of the ball straight off the bat from Wales.
Seems to be quite a few people headed around field one. I'm sure more and more will join as the game goes on, which will create a great atmosphere. Bleachers in front of us with quite a few people in them. It's a highly anticipated game, this one.
And two of the Wales players to watch, they've just gotten 2 consecutive penalties on the line from England players being offside, so 1 additional penalty and there'll be an England player excluded. But 2 of the players to watch, number 8, Keris Bollett, who's just about to tap off, and number 10, Joanne Jones, announced her this morning during the introduction as a player to watch. And Bollett going down for the dive there, touched just in by Naomi Burnett, the number 11 for England. Great start from Wales here.
Yes, not lost possession since the tap off. England defence holding firm though. So let's come down the middle. Back to the 7 they go.
And this is 5th touch. They're going to have to do something on this large touch. They're going on the outsides, and good touch there by the number 1, Amelia Patton from England.
So it's England who have the ball back. They get the chance for their first drive. Straight to the sub-box. That was a long defensive set as well.
Very confident start by Wales. I think they're going to be happy with that first attacking set. They would have liked a conversion after 2 sets on the line, and a great attacking pod on here. Emily Ranaropa, one of the highlight players for their last Field 1 game on the field. She's got some speed. You can see her sweeping around there, targeting the offside player.
Touch called, but a confident attacking set from England, almost leading to a try. Wales have it back again, starting from their own 7 metre. Again, they will take the opportunity to bring their own changes on as they go past the sub-box.
Ella Trier is driving the ball up there, one of the key players for the Wales Open. This was 5th touch, so they're trying to create something on the last, trying to pass it out, but ball down. Unfortunately, England with good field position here. Coming off the line, they'll be aiming to make touch 2 almost on the halfway.
And they're over halfway now. Good midfield defence by Wales so far. Both these teams are quick though. It's probably going to be a feature of this match is the pace that both of these sides can inject into their game. Yeah,
absolutely, and great defensive touch on the half there by Wales, and there are some rapid ladies across the pitch on both teams here, and you can see the class of this defence. England just rushing up each time, pistoning this defence. This is 5th touch coming. They're going to try and set up a strike up and create something on this last touch.
Yeah, but that is 6th touch, so England have possession back. Good quick passing, and it's got them to halfway. Once again, fresh legs brought on. Over on the left-hand right-hand side. They'll probably look to bring it in field now. In fact, there's been an infringement.
Yeah, and over the mark, and these ladies, just watching these drives, they're going into these rucks with such pace, and England just an over the mark there, which sometimes happen when you are sprinting into those touches. Great midfield touch by Kenzie McNaught in the midfield here. And really interesting from the England setup, they've got a lot of club mates in these pods together. Naomi Furnett and Kenzie McNaught, two of the players closest to the fields, obviously playing club touch together, so very familiar players with each other. Ella Triez from Wales driving up the middle of the field.
Ella Triez. Right, that's a 6 touch, so England have it back into it. It's a story of defences at the moment.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think both teams are missing the touch count that the referee is calling here. We've seen a few touches where I think the teams think it's 5th touch and it's actually been the final touch. Kenzie McNaught going on the outsides. Oh,
brilliant try. Absolutely superb from Kenzie McNaught. Just found the space and used her pace. Takes the quick pass from Naomi Furnett and then dummy pass, beautifully using the foil from Carly Wynn.
just class there from Kenzie, feeding her play from half, doing that wrap, finding the hole, and that little dummy at the end, just incredible. She was one of the standouts on England's last Field 1 game as well.
So, England with first blood in this one. Thanks to Kenzie McNaught, can Wales come straight back from the tap-off. They had a really good tap-off set after starting the game. Almost 2 minutes in possession. There has been a fumble, and England will have the ball back.
Yeah, Emily Simon running from half there, and it looks like when she's passed that, it has hit an England player, but they've judged that to be ball down rather than 6 again. So England on the reply, making strong yards through the middle of the field. Wales really have to step up on this midfield defence. They're getting caught rolling here, and it's giving England a lot of yards. This is 5th touch for England, so they've got a chance for a strike dump right on that 7-metre line.
Here we go now. Needs an open player.
Oh, what a touch there by the Wales winger. I want to say that's Lucy Isaac over on that far side, but great defensive touch. But the speed of Rhoda Roper, I'll tell you what, it's been her signature this Euros, picking up from half and just beating a lot of her players and scooping through, and she's done it again very early in this game.
As Wales who go over halfway, but there is a whistle.
Yeah.
England just starting again. Oh, there's a mistake which gives the ball back to Wales. Okay, we're going to hand over to the studio. Ian is with Chris Simon.
Right, hello everybody, welcome back to the studio. I'm delighted to say we've got Chris Simon, the CEO of England Touch with us. Chris, what a week this has been so far, isn't it? You must be a very proud man right now.
Yeah, really pleased. I think an awful lot of work's gone into this, and massive thank you to the university, to our volunteers and all the staff that have pulled this together. Going really well so far.
We've seen some great games, none more so than what's going on behind us, of course, with England and Wales. A few nerves from your part?
Yeah, I think so. Women's Open team, they'll be expecting to win. They'll go all the way and take this tournament. Just conceded there as we're talking, and I think they'll be certainly trying to get on back very quickly.
Now let's talk about touch, because it's very important for you, isn't it? You played, of course, but it's a family affair, isn't it, as well? Your daughter actually plays for the team here. Yeah,
there's 5 of us all played since they were toddlers, and Emily's 19 playing in this game today, and I think that's the joy of the sport, is that anybody can play. Very, very inclusive, and there's our family, and we've got a Wales family next to us in Nottingham here, and the 10 of us have played on the same field, and that's a delight to do.
Now this is the stories we want, don't we? We want people to be inspired to play the game. If they're watching this right now and thinking, I want to get involved, how do people get involved with touch?
Well, right here in Nottingham Touch Club, welcome people every Wednesday, training locally here, and we've got Monday leagues more widely across England. If you just go and have a look on the England Touch website, englandtouch.org.uk, there's a search function there where you can find out your closest club, or just drop us an email, get in touch with us on social media, any which way really, have a go.
Chris, I better let you go because you're like the busiest man here this week, so thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks
We really
so much,
appreciate you taking a couple of minutes out. Right, let's hand back because I don't want you to miss any more of this action. England v Wales in the Women's Open. Let's hand back to Jono and Mel. Enjoy.
Welcome back. Many thanks to Ian and Chris. As we saw, Wales bringing the game back on level terms. It was Annie-Kate Lewis with the touchdown on the right-hand side. A lovely find, but England looking to take the lead back, Mel, and they've had a couple of chances, and I think they made one stick.
We're talking about clubmates being part of the same pod, and you've just seen it there. Emily Irons and Bronte Sykes, two London Scorpions teammates, teaming up there for a fantastic score.
So England back in the lead 2-1, and they've been really threatening something while that interview was taking place. Wales equalising then straight from the tap off. England just been looking for that opportunity to take the lead back.
Yeah, they were lucky enough to get a penalty on the Wales line for an offside, but here go Wales targeting the outsides. Strong England defence, but another penalty for offside. Both teams really need to get these offside penalties in control, make sure they make that line, because both teams are looking so dangerous that, yeah, giving position away here. We can go Joanne Jones feeding her support player there.
Yeah, it's Wales still in a good position as they look to get back on level terms. It's been a very, very close game so far. But good defence by England.
Yeah, Joanne Jones and Keris Bullet just playing with these England middles, and they'll go wide now. Here goes Joanne Jones. Unfortunately caught at half, but I think the right idea, trying to narrow up the defence and then picking up from half and attempting to spread it wide.
Next, England start again from deep in their own half, but they made some good yards as they head towards the sub box and get some fresh players on. A good drive in the game. They've seen the speed, but I think there was a Welsh hand in there, so that may give England a fresh set of 6.
Yeah, I thought a hand in there from Joanne Jones, attempted intercept, which she almost got her hands on that, which would have been very dangerous. But England in prime position, and we've had a lot of players go over to field 5 for Travis Kenny's 100th cap, and a lot of them have come back here to watch this Women's Open shootout between the two unbeaten teams.
As the touch is made, England go back to 7.
Emily Rona-Roper, that's absolute speed of her. Quick wrap around, long ball out to the wing.
And down it goes. And no, there is going to be given.
Forward pass, I think they've called it back
Oh,
for.
Let's watch it again. I thought it may have been forward. Obviously, we're central, so it's difficult to tell.
With the naked eye, it looked a little bit forward coming out of the hands, didn't it?
Yeah, from that angle, you can definitely see it was. Great call by the referees.
And Wales being let off the hook, it looked like England were just about to go through again, but they maintain that one touchdown differential as they drive towards their box. Bit of a risky pass out to the wing, but great hands by the Wales players as they're bringing on their attacking players. Ella Trier's, Imogen Boone, picking up from half now, passing it wide.
Oh, the intercept was on there.
You just didn't know whether Carly Wynn was going to make the touch or go for the intercept there. Both the options were on, but just making the touch.
Yeah, it's almost a safe play. Well, we'll get possession again. If the intercept doesn't go right, then it could give given the Welsh a fresh set of 6.
It looks like another forward pass here. The referees, especially this season, have been looking at these forward passes, especially from half, and they've picked up a couple in this game. So both teams, they just need to control the depth of their runners and make sure that they are passing backwards on those driving plays.
It's Wales who have the ball. Fresh legs coming on from the sub-box. Just slowed it down a little bit into the middle, and now it's fifth touch, so can they make something happen? Touch is claimed by Carly Wynn. I think there's going to be a consultation between the officials, and it is England's ball.
It was quite close there. Good play by Joanne Jones. Gee, she's just a class player.
She was superb in the game here yesterday. Oh, brilliant. She pops it down.
I think she beat her link there.
She did. Carly Wynn just getting the touch in. Great play by Joanne Jones of Wales there, but it's England the other way. They've used all their touches as Kenzie McNaught was looking to get through for her second try of the game. 5 minutes to go in this first half. England with a narrow 2-1 lead, but you really can't call this at the moment, can you?
No, absolutely not. And you know what? Very lucky of the Welsh attack to get a penalty there. They were setting up for their fourth touch, well within their own half. So to get an offside penalty, it's exactly what they needed. Driving into the England half now, and they'll be looking to set up a couple of strike dumps. I think that'll be third touch, so fourth coming.
Down it goes. Across the line and down. I think the touch was made though.
Yeah, Denny Payton coming in for that shot. Great defence by Denny. Long ball out to the wing.
And it's turned back over to England. They'll drive straight towards their sub-box and get new players on.
Both teams definitely looking threatening. I think England have, the slight strength at the moment, just in terms of their driving. They're coming on with such incredible pace. Wales are kind of relying on these penalties to get close to the England line, but I think this game is one that can just turn on a dime by the looks of it.
They've used all their touches, and Wales want to get on with that.
And Wales again getting caught in their half. You can see two defenders up, making those strong touches, which I think they've just gotten a penalty for in terms of that hard touch. Quite tough there.
It was a little over-exuberant, shall we say.
I think the fact that two of them were up in it, they should have just nominated and had the one player make the touch. It did look a little bit ugly.
Wales with a chance to drive through the middle.
Fifth touch coming. They're going to get a strike dump here. Ella Trias on the field, going in hard.
So just this one touch to play with, diving through, but the touch was made again, I think.
Now the touch was made, but there was an offside defender here. I think it may have been the sixth that was offside.
So the Welsh with a fresh set of 6 on the 7 metre.
They've just got to watch these passes from half here. That was very questionable, that pass to Ella Trias. We haven't seen Joanne Jones, number 10, and the number 2, Ella Trias, on the field very much, but two of their key attacking players. Ella Trias.
Oh, that time she's down. Oh, you see by the reaction. Now, you don't see that very often, do you, where there's such a huge celebration after a try, and they really enjoyed that one. Ella Trias diving through, and it's all square at 2-2 with 2 minutes left to play in the first half.
Absolute class. Ball down first. She's an exceptional player. Plays for my club, London Galaxy, and showing all of her class there. And they really needed that. They needed that confidence. They'd had a few sets on the England line, hadn't converted, so that's going to do the Wales team a world of good.
But England brought it straight back. Yes, they have. England go ahead again.
This
There's
is
Bronte Sykes.
quite harsh here. It looked like the Wales defender was actually on this line when she made this touch. I thought initially they thought it was going to be, maybe they've judged that she hasn't quite made that line, and Bronte Sykes, she just punishes players. I play a club touch against her on a Thursday night, and she has me done like a turkey on those plays very, very often.
Wales looking to strike straight back from the tap-off into the final minute of the half now. What an excellent half it's been. We expected a great match, and these two teams haven't disappointed so far. Another touch is made. It's been a great game so far, it really has.
Great game. Keris Bollett, the player who picked up from half, I think she's been outstanding. I talk a lot about Joanne Jones being one of the key attackers, but Keris Bollett, she's really setting up a lot of these plays for Wales. 3-2 to England.
So England start again. There's about 10 seconds left. Oh, and that's an error. Wales have to be quick though, as the hooter goes and the touch is made, and that will be half time, and it's England who have the 3-2 advantage as we head into half time, but this is still anybody's game now.
Oh, absolutely. I think in terms of field position and strikes on the line, I think Wales have definitely had the advantage. They just haven't converted those opportunities, unfortunately. But England, I think they've had less shots at the Wales line, but their conversion rate is so much higher. You can see Kenzie McNaught, she's had such a blinder. Keris Bollett, we've talked about her being a set-up player, throwing long left to right. That was an absolute pearl out to the wing. She's been an outstanding player in this half.
This is when England went 2-1 ahead.
Bronte Sykes, it feels like she's been everywhere for this England team. Between Bronte Sykes and Emily Renaropa, they've just, here we see Emily Renaropa setting up for this score, out to Bronte Sykes, throwing it long.
Yeah, that was the one that was classed as forward, and then Wales coming back to make it 2-2, and you see the celebrations as well. In fact, no, that was the one before where Jones went through. This is the try, Ella Triez.
Yeah, you see, make the touch right on this 7 metres. Great attacking dump by Ella Triez, and then follows it up with an exceptional dive.
And great celebrations after that try as well, but then England coming straight back from the tap-off. Bronte Sykes again, just finding a little space, finding the hole. Down it went, and England lead 3-2 at half-time.
Yeah, we've been building up this game since this morning. I think both teams are living up to the hype at the moment. Exceptional.
So let's have a quick look at the table. So both teams played 2 games yesterday. England with a 10-3 victory over Scotland, and then a 10-2 victory over France. Wales, they've 10-0 over Belgium, and then in the penultimate game of yesterday here on Field 1, a narrow 9-8 victory over Ireland. So England having scored 20 tries overall, but they've been very much spread out throughout the whole team. Bronte Sykes currently the top try scorer for England. For Wales, 19 tries they scored yesterday. Again, a really good spread with Annie-Kate Lewis, Molly Morris and Seren Lockwood with 3 tries apiece. And then Megan Wynne-Jones and Helen Huxtable on 2 tries apiece. So very, very close, these two teams. Looking overall at the competition though, Mal, if we can get the table up here. England and Wales come into this game with a 100% record. Scotland and France with a win and a loss each, and then Ireland and Belgium with 2 losses. So this is a very, very important game in context of this round robin section.
Yeah, I think these two teams are the favourites to meet in the gold medal match. I think Scotland still have some ammunition up their sleeve. I spoke to a couple of their players after their game against England, and I don't think they played to their potential. I think they've still got plenty in the tank. But yeah, really important for confidence and everything like that going into semis later in the tournament.
Ireland as well, who we saw against this Welsh side yesterday, and Wales just coming away with that very, very narrow 9-8 victory. So I think Ireland have got to be in the mix as well.
Oh, 100%. The Old Wesley girls, in particular, just such attacking weapons. Yeah, I didn't have enough positive things to say about Ireland. I think they've got so much potential to really take it to some of these teams.
20 minutes left in this one, as what has been a really fantastic game, and we built it up as this is going to be a great game, and it's not disappointed so far.
No, it's fantastic when you do hype up a game and both teams really bring their best touch out. And the sun is shining, we're ready for tap-off, and yeah, anyone's game.
Interesting, I was saying to Ben in the last game that on screen the conditions probably look very similar to what they were yesterday, but it's far less humid. It's a lot fresher today. 100%.
Yesterday it was almost oppressive, that heat and that humidity. It was really sticky playing, but much better today. Jules Unsworth, we didn't see much of her in the first half. The number 9 in the white cap, Julia Unsworth. She's nicknamed the legend in Galaxy circles. Class player. It's good to see her on the field at the moment. Oh.
Good dive through, the touch is claimed. England go back to halfway, the try is given. Emily Rona-Roper diving through, and England have stretched their lead to 2.
Yeah, 2 Galaxy teammates. You can see Emily shaping up for the sweep, to sweep around the back of this ruck, get this ball at speed, go straight in for the dive.
So that is exactly the start that England would have wanted to the second half, with having the tap off. Now is, can Wales respond straight away from their own tap off? And
Joanne Jones straight
needs
through,
somebody
looking for a
open.
support player.
But great play, Joanne Jones, who was one of the players of the game that we saw yesterday, and she's had a couple of really good drives to the end zone in this game so far. We saw one in the first half, then again just then. And this is the thing, that these teams are so evenly matched, but there's players on both sides that can perform that little bit of brilliance that can unlock the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a game of literal millimetres, and there's not much difference between these two teams. It looks like England's getting a slight better, but I think they've just got consistency across the field. But Wales, they're definitely looking for the next try for sure. Unfortunately, 4th touch, they're just over halfway. This will be a strike dump by Ella Trier's 5th touch. They need to do something from here. Running from half, passing out, they almost had an overlap on that side, but they just didn't quite have the field position for a really effective strike dump on that set, Wales.
Bit of a tumble there. As still have possession, it's Georgina McCabinet just tumbling over. She's fine though. And we carry on as England make changes from their sub-box. Great speed again. Is that transition from the sub-box from both teams has been excellent.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Kenzie McNaught throwing a couple of dummies. She's made 20 metres on that drive. Just an exceptional player.
Oh. No. The touch was made, and Naomi Ferner was going to dance her way through there. I think there was a touch just at the last second, but I think she dodged a couple of touches.
Yeah, I think she definitely did. And a bit of chat entering the game. You can see a few appeals to the referees for decisions, but I think the referees have done a good job of controlling this game. Oh, Great run by the number 16 from Wales there. Sarah Lockwood, she's got some pace on her.
England have possession once again very deep in their own half. It's going to take a good drive, but Kenzie McNaughton is more than capable of driving forwards, as we've seen already. She does go off and make a change though. England past the 10 metre, it's another good drive at speed. Fifth touch now. Long pass, there's a pass out and there's a bit of space. Oh, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. 5-2 England. And that was a great try.
Right in front of all these England supporters, you can see here, ball out. Julia Unsworth getting that pop pass and great line to run back in there from the England winger there with the defenders chasing out.
So 5-2 England lead.
Yeah, they're starting to assert some dominance here. Wales really need to score a 2-touchdown differential. It just feels psychologically that much better than if it goes out to any more than that. But Ella Trier is guiding the plays here.
Goes to the left-hand side, comes back into the middle.
Ellen Huxtable, great strike dump on the 7 metre line. And it looks like they're going to get a penalty here for an offside. Good patience by the Wales lady here. Sometimes by just having a few dumps on that 7 metre line and being very patient, you can kind of pull that penalty.
It's still back on the 7 metre, but touches in hand for Wales here. Ella Trias dives through again, but I think the touch was made. Yes, it was. Is it England have learnt from that first half where she dived through?
Absolutely. Great dumps here. You can see each one of them is pretty much bang on that 7 metres, and they've... Oh, I think that might be ball down there.
The touch is claimed vigorously, but it is Wales who pull it back within 2. Bronte Sykes pleading with the referee that she made the touch, but I think when we see from the replay here that it was definitely ball down by Ellen Huxtable.
Yeah, I think from the naked eye it looked like it was ball down from up here, and you can see the Wales skill in conditioning that defence, constantly feeding those quickies, thinking they're going to go on the outside, and then just quick pick up from half and ran through a hole as wide as you like.
It's a fresh set of 6 for England, so a chance to strike straight back. Great pass. Oh, there was space opened up on the left hand side, but great defence by Wales to cut off the supply line there.
Yeah, Sarah Vasey on the wing, you can just see her make that shot there, and I think that really made the difference. And unfortunately just a fumble from half from England, and Wales, I think they're just one behind here. And here they go, Wales driving hard.
Yeah, so Wales driving through. What's being called here? I think it's a fresh set for Wales.
Yeah, offside called there.
It's a chance to bring it within 1. And if they do, they're right back in this game and putting pressure on England.
And you can see them setting up that sweeper play with that number 4. We know she's got such speed, Sarah Platt. And you can just see her shaping up to run around the wing, but Wales have got another penalty here. England have to be very careful not to give away any more penalties.
There's plenty of time left, still 12 minutes left in the game. Good defence by England though.
touch three. They run a sweeper play again, a player running behind the ruck there.
Oh, it's an interception. 0 touch.
Yeah, unfortunately there, that was only about their 4th touch, but England taking advantage of this error, driving towards their bucks.
Not the smoothest of changes we've seen from England there.
No. Oh, Julia Unsworth has an incredible dummy on her, and she's just used it there to get an extra 5 metres or so on this drive. And Emily Runaropa through again,
And
left
down
to
it
right.
goes. Appreciated in the studio to our left. It's 6-3 England. Let's watch this again.
Oh, the speed she has, just taking off from half. That left to right ball, just incredible. She's the captain of this team and really leading from the front. Just a spectacular player.
So England 3 ahead again with 10 minutes to go or so. Still not over for Wales though. They've shown that they can penetrate this England defence. They just need to maybe get a couple of tries as they do now, but the touch I think was made. But if they manage to get a couple of tries now, it really does put England under pressure.
Yeah, it really does. I almost thought that link hole was on there to play before. But Wales really have to structure this midfield defence. At the moment, England are making a lot of yards on their drives. And you can see Wales sending up a couple of players, but England are getting that check off out and just making yards on these drives.
Certainly are. As they're 10 metres away from the halfway line, looking to extend the lead further. Oh, here they come again. Now, was the touch made in time before the ball was released? Yes, I think it was. So, Wales possession. Let's have a look at this one again as Bronte Sykes goes through, pops it down. Emily Irons racing through, and I think there was just a touch hit. Or was it gathered in? Was it? Oh, there's so many things, so much happening.
So close, so close. But Emily Irons, great run from the half.
Wales looking to reduce the arrears, but a bit of a mix-up there, but they've got away with it, I think.
I think that was a deserved penalty there. You can see the hard touch come in, just that extra push that's interrupting that roll ball, and that's why Wales have got that penalty. We've got a forced sub, so they'll bring on a substitute straight away for the player. You can see Kensington coming in for the subbed off player. Ella Trier's targeting that hole that's just opened up. And another penalty here. Looks like again they're just being a little bit too over physical in these touches, trying to disrupt that roll ball, England.
Chance now, Ella Trier's, but once again, defence closes in and gets the touch before she can pop the ball down.
And plenty of time. We keep on talking about time in touch. There's still 8 minutes to go. Plenty of times for Wales to get back into this game. But 5th touch, they're going to have to create something on the last, with Joreen Jones tries to do with a long ball, but just put down on the wing.
Yes, Sarah Vasey there, just letting it go through her grasp. It was a difficult ball to take, to be fair. England in possession again, and they'll be happy just to have possession now. A run down the clock, but now a chance to break away down the wing. Fantastic speed. What a great try. Almost from nothing.
Fabulous try. It's tough for this Wales defence. They're sending up a couple of players, but England just are consistently getting those check-offs to supporting players that aren't being marked. And
I mean, it's from their own 7 metre this started.
And you can say Kensington really built this, so you can see just quick dummy out to the wing. The Wales winger has just been pulled in field there, and oh, such speed, these ladies.
here. Nicola Wise there. Great pace. 7-3 England lead. And I think you have to say that is probably that as far as this game is concerned. Or is it?
Based on... There have been games where we've seen, you know, a 3 touchdown differential at this stage, and because of the performance of both teams have been so close, we think the other team has a chance to get back in, but you've got to favour England to maintain this lead just based on their performance on the field. Great defence by Kenzie McNaught again. She's been everywhere this game as well.
Yeah, she's had a great game. I think when you're talking MVP for each side, and Kenzie McNaught has got to be in the mix for this game, certainly.
Yeah, those really subtle supporting plays, and in terms of the yard, she's been instrumental in getting up the field for England. And it looks like they may be playing the touch here.
There's no whistle gone, has there? So
No.
we're just carrying on.
Naomi Fournette with the ball.
Oh, it's down again.
And a call from the sideline ref. It looks like there was a forward pass on one of those last passes.
It's great because Naomi Fournette went aeroplane arms, thinking that was it was a great run by her, as we see here. She was away celebrating, but unfortunately the try not given that time. Ella Trias for Wales, trying to streak away, but the touch was made. We're into the final 5 minutes of this game. It has been a really great game as well.
Yeah, it really is. It doesn't really feel like a 7-3 scoreline, but I think the difference is most times when England are getting down to the Wales line, they are converting these opportunities where the England defence has just been too tough. Incredibly solid.
Go. It's coming over. Final touch. And down it goes again, and England are just starting to stretch away. 8-3 England lead now.
Great connection between these two players. You see Julia Unsworth with an impeccable strike dump. Rona Roper picking up from half, quick pass in, and Jules tapping that ball on the line.
You're right. I mean, 8-3. Wales will certainly not feel that 8-3 is fair to the performance that they put in.
No, it's...
Because they have... I think that is down, is it? No touch given.
Oh, Bronte Sykes, try-saving touch there. And you can see them, despite being up by 5, the desperation England is showing this defence is incredible.
Wales back to the 7-metre.
We have seen this happen. We have seen Wales get these opportunities, 6 touches, these offside penalties against England, but their conversion rate just hasn't quite been there. And I don't think through any fault of the players, it's just been through the defensive stuff of this England team.
They've defended very well, and Wales just the 3 scores, but they could have had a lot more because they've really threatened, especially when they've got it within that 7-metre line. They've got the players that really can do some damage, but the England defence has been absolutely superb throughout this game.
They've got a second penalty on the line here. That's for not moving up, so the defence has to keep on moving up, and this is something that England need to focus on. They have given away a lot of penalties on their line, which they just can't afford to do.
Cheers in front of us, but play goes back to the 7 again. In fact, it is England's ball.
And this looks like a 7 players on penalty. It looks like at the sub box they potentially brought on a player early.
So he's starting from halfway for England. Down it goes. It's great passing again, but I think the touch came in. Great diving touch there by Alan Huxtable.
Yeah, great touch there. Huxtable diving across.
Well, into the final minute. Bronte Sykes just looked to be limping a little bit there. She stayed out. She's put the ball down, but hasn't got the try. I think she was about to throw it back to halfway, wasn't she?
I think she was feeling confident that that might have been given, but a quick switch in play, and I think this might be the final set of 6 of this game.
Into the final 30 seconds, so Wales have to drive up quickly if they want to get anything else from this game. It would just be a consolation. 8-3 England. Oh, that's a heavy touch.
Yeah, I think both players went into that touch quite hard.
And there goes the
And
final hitter and his handshake between
it looks
the
like
two.
there might be a final penalty potentially just to finish off this game. So they're going to rule it was a hard touch by Carly Wynn. Carly Wynn, the number 6 winger for England. I think she's been outstanding this game as well. Wales trying to create something.
And there is a little bit of laughter to end the game, which is nice to see, but it's an emphatic 8-3 victory for England in what was a fabulous game of touch rugby.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Both teams just have class players across the pitch. I think England probably won it in their midfield driving. They just made a lot of yards against this Wales team, and it just meant that England did have shots in the line, and when they are close to your line, they're going to convert a lot of times. But yeah, I think Wales would be a bit disappointed with that. They just didn't have that conversion, but it's tough when you're facing a defensive powerhouse that England is, but cracking game. Yeah,
really, really good game. Well, we're going to take, there'll be a short break now of 5 minutes before the next game. That starts at 12:10. The men's 30 round robin clash between Switzerland and Luxembourg is coming up next. But in the meantime, we're going to hand over to the studio. Ian is with Jordan and Ben.
Right, welcome back to the studio, everybody. And what a morning's action we have seen so far, rounded out by an absolute cracker from England and Wales.